Video games.
Yes, you can! Comic books. Nothing is impossible.
Sci-fi.
Just
Anime.
do it!
If you've been made fun of for it, we're probably going to talk about it.
What are you waiting for?
This is Nerd Radio.
Make your dreams come true!
Welcome, everyone, to this week's Nerd Radio, wherever you're getting your podcast as part of the B-Pod Studios Network. In fact, we just got an email this morning saying that we're on Amazon now.
Ooh,
you can
are
get
we?
the Nerd Radio podcast, along with, of course, Meltdowns, Talkin' Rock, Dave and Chuck the Freak, all the Riff B-Pod Studios podcasts. So that's real exciting and fun, and that's what we aim for here on Nerd Radio. My name is Chuck B, and I'm your host. I am joined by my faithful co-hosts, Al Beck.
I think I'm hitting a little short of the mark.
Of the faithful?
Well, no, we're aiming for excitement
Oh, yeah. No, you don't have a lot of excitement.
and fun.
Yeah. You don't know about
What
it.
he lacks in excitement and fun, he makes up for in faith. Ask his church group, his
Yeah.
Bible study group.
The Outback Bible Study Group.
Yeah.
Also-
faith in what? Pizza?
Also joined by James.
Hello.
Hello. And we got a whole bunch of nerd stuff to talk about this week.
You better.
Like most weeks. Otherwise, it'd be a very short show, right?
Otherwise, we need to change the title of the podcast to
Right,
just
exactly.
random crap.
never-
Three dudes talk about.
I never really thought about that. If we don't have anything to talk about, it's a short podcast.
Right?
I'm going to stop sending you prep.
Because you are giving me plenty of stuff to talk about.
So much stuff.
Nice job.
I can't believe you took your hair out of the ponytail. You put your hair
I
up in a
was-
ponytail?
I was rocking out to that intro song. I was
Oh,
like,
okay.
yeah.
I was like, he put his hair in a ponytail just
Yeah.
to do Nerd Radio, everybody. And then he took it out.
No, I put it in a ponytail because it's infuriating when it gets in my face. And I'm like, I'm going to cut it. I know spring is coming.
I wish I had that problem, but instead I'm losing my hair.
It's going
left and
away
right,
again.
so
Yeah.
I'll never be able to have hair like Chuck's.
I'm sorry. You can have some of mine if you want.
You can have
Like,
the best hair. I think Chuck will be voted best hair on Nerd Radio.
best hair on
Well,
yeah.
definitely.
Well,
Because
yeah.
you and I are in the same boat.
Yeah.
You guys both wear hats. No one knows.
Yeah. Well,
There's
I'm
a reason for my hat.
Yeah, me too.
It's 'cause I-
and I think I'm further along than you are.
Wouldn't it be great if Al took his hat off and it was that scene, what is it, Con Air, when Nicolas Cage walks out and the wind blows his
Yeah,
long
well, I
hair,
feel like you could
takes his
recreate
hat-
that scene with your hair. Yeah.
That won't be happening. I did have hair that was down past my shoulders.
You did.
At one point, yeah.
I saw one of those pictures a week or two ago.
Yeah. Was that even before your time here?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes,
That was long ago.
I'd never known Al Beck with long hair,
Yeah.
but then I've seen younger pictures of Al Beck.
Yeah.
and this-
Well, the problem that James is discussing there with the receding hairline,
yeah,
or advancing from both sides. I got the pincer haircut over here.
right.
Yeah, no, I had that long hair, and I was actually over it for about a year before I cut it off, but I delayed because I knew once I cut it, I'd never have long hair again.
Yeah.
It wasn't going to be an option like you, Chuck, who has got a yo-yo hair length over there, and you're 72 years old, you son of a bitch.
I'm looking forward, even though I feel like my hairline is moving slowly backwards. My forehead gets a little bit larger every year, but when we couldn't go out and get haircuts last year, I was like, you know what? I'll grow it out one more time.
There you go.
Whatever, I'll grow it out. And I'm looking forward to, hopefully it'll all go white and I can be Doc Brown
Oh, there you go.
in my later years.
Get some mousse and like really
Poof it
pump
out.
it out.
If I-
That's when the podcast takes off.
Yeah.
If I've got Doc Brown hair, if it is all white.
Chuck Brown.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm Dr. Chuck Brown here, conducting experiments.
Chuck Brown's a good name.
I've got
Great Scott.
I've got a PhD in nerd.
Yeah.
I'll wear a white jumpsuit everywhere.
Yeah, you'd be like the mad scientist of radio.
Great Scott.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's get into some of this nerd stuff that we've had hoping to happen in the last week. One of which is the last episode of WandaVision. You guys partake
Yes.
Yes.
and your thoughts.
Yeah, here's my thoughts on WandaVision, okay?
All right,
Here are my thoughts.
bring it.
I
On
can't wait.
WandaVision.
Bring the
Because we
fire.
kind of talked
Oh.
him into sticking it out.
Yeah.
All I have to say is, ha ha ha! Everybody who's like, oh my God, WandaVision is going to be the greatest thing. They're going to introduce the X-Men into the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah.
They're going to bring Ghost Rider back. Oh, they're going to make all these revelations. No,
Nothing.
nothing. That was
John-
like the loudest, wettest fart on like streaming services imaginable when that episode ended. I was like, What happened to Fantastic Four? I thought Mr. Fantastic's going to be coming in. I thought we were going to see Doctor Strange coming in. I thought we were going to see Ghost Rider, Wolverine, Professor X. Everybody's going to come in here. All these theories posted online for how epic and great WandaVision, all these things WandaVision is going to bring to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And then you get...
And then we got John Boner.
I was like, that's it? Even after both of the cutscenes, that's it? Oh, that wasn't Quicksilver. That wasn't Pietro or whatever.
Right.
That was just the dude that lives upstairs and jerks off in his parents' attic. That's it.
Yep.
And my review, it was fine.
Yeah. It was all right.
My turn.
Yeah.
It was okay.
I enjoyed it. I liked the ride. I wasn't too disappointed by the ending, but obviously everybody was wrong as far as, thinking that this was going to lead into really big things. And I think that hopefully will teach us to manage our expectations. It's been 7 days of learning to manage expectations.
Yeah.
I've got to say.
Yeah.
Well, I just think it's funny. As soon as Disney does something, Disney Plus puts something out there, everybody's like, "Oh my God, this is it! This is the moment! This is the moment we've all been waiting for our entire lives in terms of Marvel movies. Yes, yes, we're gonna finally see Mephisto. Mephisto's gonna be the guy who's pulling the puppet strings."
Yeah.
No, it was just a dude who lives in his parents' basement and jerks off the dirty magazines while mom and dad's not home, and he just happened to get put under a spell by a witch.
Yeah, I will say that I'm thrilled by James' reaction to this.
Yeah.
Because at least he got something out of it. Like I did
Didn't
enjoy.
get anything out of it?
Well, no, I mean, like, I kind of liked the sitcom throwback stuff, and I enjoyed it the whole time. It wasn't one of my favorite things I've ever seen.
Right.
It wasn't even my favorite in what we've gotten out of Marvel so far, not at all. It was nice to see a Marvel show that I did enjoy after Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. upset me so much.
That's fair.
You know what I mean? So, like, that was cool. But, like, James didn't like it at all, really.
Yeah.
There's a couple of things maybe, but all in all, would you say you were not...
Overall, it was kind of a letdown.
Yeah.
It's like, it was fun being in the mix of things.
Yeah.
Sure.
When you're seeing these theories, and I'm trying to come up with my own, but
Yeah.
I'm not into the Marvel... I'm not into that universe as much to where I can develop my own. I think it's going to be Ghost Rider and Blaze.
Yeah.
You're like, what? Where did that come from,
But the fact that you were able to give anyone listening to this podcast a verbal mooning, if you will.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
At least you got something out of it.
So when it ended, I was like, you kidding me? All these different theories that I've seen. I know somebody in the chat, Valiant, is saying he hasn't seen any of those claims that I've seen.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's like, I'm seeing stuff that comes across my timeline from like comicbook.com.
Right.
It's like a bunch of theories. Nothing was ever said like, this is exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But I've seen so many different theories about the Fantastic Four.
Yep.
And the X-Men. And who else? I even like Ghost Rider was one of those weird ones that I'm like, how the hell are they going to bring Ghost Rider in?
Yeah, no, I was
to
I was on
this,
board
so.
with the like, oh, maybe this is how we get X-Men, but no,
Yeah.
they're not. No, it's not going to be that easy. It's not going to be that. We're not going to do it right now, especially considering we don't even have an X-Men movie, announced for the next 5 years.
Yeah.
So.
I feel like I was kind of in that perfect middle area where I did enjoy it, but honestly, I didn't enjoy it enough or care enough that I felt let down. It was like, and that's the end of the season. Okay.
Yeah, well, for me,
fine.
it's just a...
I am with James that like my social media feed every Thursday before the Friday episode of WandaVision was full of people saying, this is the week we get this. This is the week we get this. And it got to the point, it was either last week or the week before, where I was like, you guys all sound like nerd QAnon.
Yeah.
You've got all these wild theories, and like 24 hours from now, we're going to watch a television show and none of them are coming true.
Yeah.
It's really, really strange.
I didn't see any of that in my social media, but I also don't really look at my social media.
Right.
If you send me a direct, correspondence via comment or a message, I'll get to it, within the next 3 months.
Yeah.
But I don't read anything in the news feed at all. I just don't.
I've still not learned my lesson because every week I'm blowing up Al's DMs being like, are you coming to Nerd Radio?
Sliding in.
Are you going to be here?
Well, that answer is always a reluctant yes.
Yeah, right. Like, you're
Either
always
no
here.
or yeah.
So it's cool, but sometimes I'm like,
And every time we start late, Chuck's never sure.
I'm never sure because he's not answering.
Yeah.
Al was just happy to have somebody slide into his DMs.
Well,
That's
maybe, maybe. So I'm curious, James, before we let this WandaVision thing go, you're pumped about the Scott Snyder cut. of Justice League, right? So would you say
Zack Snyder.
or Zack? I'm sorry.
I was like, oh
Zack
no,
Snyder.
I don't know who Scott Snyder
I
is.
was like, no, he's
There's
a com-
another cut of this guy. You must have just had a slip of a name. Okay.
No,
Yes.
he's a comic book
I
writer.
am very excited to check
Zack-
out the Zack Snyder
So
cut.
you're-
Oh,
of
that's right. Yeah,
Justice
he
League.
is a comic book writer. 'Cause I'm like, what's wrong with Scott Snyder?
Yeah.
What's the-
He wrote Batman. He wrote
Now
all, that
all these
stuff.
different Snyders, I'm
There's a
my
lot of
brain
Snyders working on
scrambled.
Batman.
I got the Snyder brain scramble now.
Yep.
When everyone's doing the Justice League cut for HBO Max,
Right.
yes, I'm excited to see his version of the flick.
Did you see that they accidentally put it on the service? Like people that were watching, were tuning in to watch Tom and Jerry would click on the Tom and Jerry and it would start that instead.
You're kidding, for real? So some
Yeah.
people have seen the beginning of it already?
I
or?
think so.
Wow.
Yeah, I saw that a couple of days ago, and
I'm
I'm
gonna
like,
fire up the DVR and hit
that's
record
funny.
real quick.
Yeah,
and
right.
Get some hits on YouTube or something. Oh, and some DCMA or whatever. I get
DMCA.
a copyright strike. I
Right.
can't. My Snyder brain scrambles.
we're
taking
only,
effect.
it's next week, isn't it? March 18th, because it feels like everything happens
Yeah, about
March
a week.
18th.
Yeah, March 18th, because then
Yeah.
Kong versus Godzilla is the 31st.
Okay, yeah. But what I'm getting at is, so you're definitely more a DC guy than a Marvel guy.
I would say I'm more of a Marvel guy.
Okay.
In terms of like knowledge and fandom, but this Snyder cut of Justice League, like I've liked the fact that the DC movies had that darker tone to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked that they weren't all fun and flashy and hey, it's Iron Man, I'm gonna do a breakdown.
Sure.
You know, it's like the Michael Jackson Thriller of superhero movies.
Yeah.
I like the fact that I feel like DC is more like dark and grunge.
Yeah.
Okay.
In terms of comic book heroes.
What I will say to the point you were trying to make, Chuck, is I feel like I'm more of a DC guy when it comes to the two, entities.
Yeah.
But James has probably liked the DC movies better than pretty much anyone else I know.
Well,
Yeah.
my
So I think that might be the confusion, because like there's been a couple I'm like, that movie wasn't great, and James like, I had a good time. I really
Batman
liked
versus
it.
Superman. What did you hate about it? Was it long? No, I thought it was entertaining.
Friggin'
I liked the director's cut better than I liked the original because the director's cut let you in on some of the stuff. You're like, it's kind of not making a ton of sense.
friggin'
but-
Martha.
Yeah. Well, I made fun of the fact that Superman and Batman find common ground, and the fact that their mothers have the same name. Like
Yeah.
that is dumb.
I
But-
remember when I saw it, thinking that like this director must think he has uncovered something that no one has ever thought of
Well, I'm
in
telling
like
you right
50
now.
years of superheroes,
What do you
and I
think-
was right.
What do you think
Zack,
Snyder's mother's name is?
is it Martha?
I don't know. That's what I would put my money on.
No, because a couple of weeks ago he was doing a press junket for this Justice League movie, and somebody
Okay.
had asked him about the Martha thing. He was like, "It was genius."
Ooh, I don't know if it was genius. That was
Come on now,
yeah.
calm down.
Genius.
It's not.
No,
I don't
that's-
think so.
Genius for like a
But-
toddler.
But the last
Martha.
the last thing, and then I'll let this go, is that when it comes to the Marvel stuff, what are some of the Marvel movies or shows that you've liked? What does a Marvel property have to bring you for like James to be like, yes, this is what I'm here for?
Oh, that is a good question because so many different Marvel movies have brought me different things. But like right now, the one I'm most excited for in terms of Marvel future movies is the next Doctor Strange.
Yeah,
I loved the Doctor Strange movie when it first came out.
Sure.
Because it was like Marvel meets Inception.
yeah, it was
Like
super
there was
trippy.
some wild stuff in there, and there's stuff that I didn't know, and I was learning, but also enjoying it. Because for me, I was like, Doctor Strange, he's lame.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
It
of
feels-
all the superheroes in the Marvel universe I could be a fan of, I'm gonna pick the Wizard guy.
he feels
You
like a
know?
third tier character.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick the Wizard guy. I'm like, and that's the movie they went with. They went with the Wizard guy,
Right.
really? And then I saw the movie and I was like, holy hell, I love the Wizard guy. Yes, awesome.
That's what you hope for these Marvel movies too. Even when it's like I think Shang-Chi is in the summer, and they're saying that Black Widow is still going to be in May. But like, I don't really care about Shang-Chi.
Me neither. I
But
don't know who
most-
that is. It sounds like a character from Mortal Kombat that got displaced and fell in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Right, but that's what you hope for with these Marvel movies, is that they'll take a character that you don't really know, and by the end of it, you'll be like, "This guy's pretty cool."
Yeah,
I like
that's
this.
exactly what happened with Doctor Strange. As long as the action is there and it gets a good story.
Yeah,
And for me, I'm at the point where you could tell me any story, and I would probably, okay, that's how it worked. You know,
Yeah.
that's what happened. I don't know any of the background to know any different, which is like with the X-Men movie. When that first X-Men movie came out,
sure.
I'm like, this is not how it was in the cartoon series.
Yeah,
What was this garbage.
Why
And then
are
you
they
want to
wearing-
throw in a stab at somebody who wanted to see the blue and yellow spandex.
Why are they wearing black leather jackets?
Yeah, I'm like, what the hell?
No, I'm trying to set my expectations for in a couple of weeks when Winter Soldier and Falcon come out, because I feel that's going to be more action.
Yeah.
And more.
Well, I'm
straight-ahead
excited to
buddy
see
cop
that
stuff.
show because I feel like it's going to be a Marvel version of Lethal Weapon.
That's what it looks like.
You know?
Yeah.
So I think it's kind of cool because it seems like Falcon and Winter Soldier don't really like each other, or they do like each other, but they like to play it off like they hate each other.
Right.
You know, much like Al plays off he hates doing this podcast. When
Exactly.
We know deep down inside, his passion is here.
This is the highlight
in
of
this
his week.
room, sitting across from the two of us.
He's sitting at home and he's watching MASH and Star Trek, and he's waiting for Wednesday mornings
Yep.
when he can come in here and find out what's been going on in the world of nerds. He loves finding out what. Oh, hi, Al.
It's like, I can't wait to get my fix. Find out what's going on in wrestling and video games. Hang out with
Yeah, exactly.
James and Chuck, the coolest guys in the world that I've ever met.
Way to sell that.
I'm a hostage.
Hey, he's probably looking in the camera who's saying like, please save me. Please save me. SOS. He's like blinking Morse code.
Yeah. You all right over there? Yeah, my eyes are just watery. I got an
Allergies.
eyelash.
I'm just so sad. I'm all choked up thinking about the ending of WandaVision.
That's right.
So sad that Vision's like white now.
What is Nerd Radio if not Al Beck's lack of desire to be here, persevering?
Yeah.
Can we go back to me ignoring you now?
But anyways, back to WandaVision. So what's going to happen? I missed the line. I missed the joke here.
Back to ignoring me.
But anyways, back to WandaVision real quick, and then you can
Yeah.
do whatever you need to do if you need to go to break or whatever. But the white Vision, like
Yes.
the clone of Vision, he now thinks he's Vision and like left.
Yep.
So that's kind of like the cliffhanger.
Yeah.
really.
Like
That-
he's out there somewhere.
Yeah, so he's out thinking he's Vision because he's got those memories now.
Yep.
And now we got the Scarlet Witch now knows she can go into those other realms.
Yeah, she took
'Cause
that.
you
She took that.
see
The
she's-
dark hold, the book of evil magic.
Yeah,
and she's
like learning it
in a
much in the
cabin
same way
somewhere.
Doctor Strange was learning stuff,
Yes.
on the other realms or whatever that they call that. So that's what I just wanted to make sure I was clear on that.
Yep. No, you
So
got that
That
perfectly
Vision,
correct.
who knows what's going on with that Vision because he just
He
flew,
just- yep.
flew out and who knows what he's doing. And now
It was
the
cool to
Scarlet
see
Witch
two
is gonna be
visions fight
powerful.
each other.
That was
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Well, something
And
Al.
that's my input.
Thank you. Something Al had
That
sent
was
me.
cool.
I didn't hate that.
Yeah, that was cool.
Something Al had sent me in the prep service is The Simpsons getting a 2-season
Holy
renewal
crap,
Man.
right?
over at Fox. At this point, are we even surprised that The Simpsons gets renewed?
No, I guess not.
I think it's easy money.
Yeah,
No.
I think The Simpsons has become an institution in the same way like Saturday Night Live is an institution.
Sure.
It would be more surprising to find out they're not coming back.
Yeah.
Because it's The Simpsons.
Yeah, the main difference between, like, I like the parallel you drew between SNL and The Simpsons, but the biggest difference there is that the cast has changed so many times on SNL.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, Lorne Michaels is obviously well, not even throughout the whole thing. He's left and come back.
Yeah.
You know, but the fact that it's still Dan Castellaneta and Julia Carvener and so on and so forth for the cast is crazy. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, now that I think about it, I think it seems to me they had to change somebody out real early on in The Simpsons, but
Oh,
then they
I would
never
argue
Like
have
the
ever-
main cast?
Yeah.
No.
Really?
No,
Like
I was
even
gonna say
Homer?
that.
Because if you
No.
listen to early Homer, he doesn't sound anything like
Yeah,
current Homer.
he changed it, but that's Dan Castellaneta from the beginning. That's been the same cast since the Tracy Ullman shorts.
Okay.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask. If it was the same people since those little mini cartoons.
Yes,
Right.
yeah, like Castellaneta's talked about how Homer's voice changes, and at the beginning it was almost a complete copy of Walter Matthau,
Yeah.
and but he like the range and emotions that Homer has, where you can go from like nothing to angry to excited.
Right.
It just the way he was doing it, it was hurting. Like it was hard to do.
Okay.
So he changed like the section of his throat where the Homer voice is made
Right.
to accommodate his fluctuating, emotions and whatever. But no, it's been the same cast the whole time.
Interesting.
Yeah. Which I think is really where, like, you kind of understand a couple sides of the argument of changing Apu or
Sure.
they're keeping Hibbert, right? But they're changing the guy.
The Hibbert will be voiced by an African American voice
Yes.
actor. And so Hank Azaria, who did, I think
did
Hank-
Apu.
he did Apu, and he does like Mo, and he does a bunch of voices.
Comic
So-
book guy, Snake, yeah.
So any characters on The Simpsons that are like people of color will be voiced by people
Right.
of color and no longer by Caucasian voice actors.
So that's really the first time that they're changing who voiced a character.
Right.
But like in the past, I mean, the woman who did Mrs. Krabappel, she passed away.
Right.
And then obviously Phil Hartman, who did
Yes.
Lionel Hutz and Troy McClure, he passed away,
Mm-hmm.
or was murdered. But he was gone, so the character went away.
Yeah. What else do you think? What other shows do you think are currently on television that are almost? I mean, nothing touches The Simpsons or like once again Saturday Night Live, as far as that's concerned. But Family Guy's been around for a long time.
Yes.
South
it
Park
has.
as well. South Park.
South Park, I feel even more so than Family Guy.
Kind of interesting that they can persevere to go back to that Vision quote year after year after year and continue. I mean, obviously it's another thing with South Park. It's like for Comedy Central, it's free money.
Yep. Quick
Let's
cash. Who
make-
knows? We got the viewers.
Why wouldn't we make another South Park?
Yeah.
That's where we get some of our best ratings.
And those guys figured it out by leaning so heavily on current events
Yeah.
that, stuff never stops happening. So they never have a shortage of supply of stuff to make shows about.
Boy, I bet last year was hard. Stuff
I'll
didn't
bet.
stop happening, but it certainly slowed down.
Yeah.
It's probably hard to put the show together. Have you guys seen the documentary of how they do a show
Yeah, yeah.
in a week? It's like
whatever,
6
6
days.
days to air
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, that's a grind that I don't think I could be a part of.
No.
So,
Yeah.
No, I couldn't do
props
that.
to Trey and Matt for being able to do that for so
Yeah.
long.
What really bums me out with that whole Simpsons thing, the fact that they're still on, is I'm one of those people who loved The Simpsons growing up.
Yeah.
And I would say that the first 11 seasons of The Simpsons are perfect, and I can still watch them. And to me, the first 11 years of The Simpsons is all that exists. But to me, the only good Simpsons is so much the minority now. It's only a third of the show's history.
Right.
Less than that now, because
Yeah.
it just keeps going. So
Do you actively not like after season 12?
yeah, no,
You've
seriously.
watched those and been like, nope, this sucks.
I used to collect all the DVDs when they were coming out,
Right.
and I think season 13 was the last one I bought, because even 11 and 12 I would start having those episodes that just the writing style started to change.
Yeah, there's a point in the Simpsons series where the comedy changes.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's hard to explain unless you watch it, but like the way the laughs are, they go for more like slapsticky type stuff
Yeah.
instead of like wit, and it's weird. So I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But definitely like the first probably 10 seasons or so are probably the best work that they put out.
Yeah,
But
10 for sure. I usually stretch it to 11, but I feel like 11 is when you start to see the change. But by 13, I don't even think I finished watching that season when I got the DVDs.
I don't think I watched an episode of South Park since the second season. I think the
Okay.
first season was like, this is amazing. The second season, like, this is still kind of funny. And then by the third season, I was like, I don't need this in my life anymore.
yeah, for me, South Park, I was out like after 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
Like it was still popular when I was in high school, and that might have been like maybe the third season when I graduated high school,
Yeah.
and I was like, I'm like,
I
South
wonder
Park's
if-
still a show?
I wonder if it turns into this thing like The Simpsons came out when I was in junior high school, so we all had Bart Simpson T-shirts and we all thought The Simpsons
Yeah.
were the coolest thing. I wonder if it's this generational thing where
I
like
was
there are
3.
God damn it.
Were you that young, really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I
It
wonder
came
if-
out in 89.
So it came out because I know it was popular when I was in second grade.
Yeah.
Like Bartman was like the coolest.
Yes, I
Second
am.
grade.
I am the senior member of
Wow.
Nerd Radio. But I wonder if it's this generational thing where like junior high school kids even today are like Simpsons are great for like a couple of years and then you grow out of it.
Oh yeah, so it is an interesting.
Or it's the same thing
question.
with South Park. Like South Park is cool when you're in high school because they're swearing and you just discovered swearing and it's
Yeah.
kind of fun. But then like by the time you're into college, you're like, no, I'm onto Adult Swim stuff now.
Well, it's funny you brought up SNL earlier, and everyone's got a cast of SNL that's their thing.
Oh,
You know,
sure.
like it hasn't been funny since Farley.
Yeah.
That's true.
But I don't know. But my nephew loves Simpsons. He's on board with it now.
There you go. I
But
guess
he loves the whole catalog. You know, like once they got Disney Plus, he's seen all.
Was you
of them
watching
now.
all the episodes? That's awesome. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
when the FXX.
And he respects my feelings on it. So, like, when he comes over for a video game night, we'll usually put on The Simpsons when we have, like, dinner or whatever. And he sticks to the first 10 seasons specifically for me.
Oh.
Even though he can watch all 30 years of it and he's happy.
He sticks to the stuff he knows you'll like.
Well,
exactly.
He knows if he puts on, like, an episode from season 11, Uncle Al's going to make him go eat his dinner in the bathroom or something.
Right.
You know,
there you go.
He's not going to get
take
to
away
play
his pizza.
He's not going to get to play Grand Theft Auto if he makes Uncle Al watch his seasons.
I know there's no Grand Theft Auto 5 if I put on a Simpsons episode that's past season 11. Ain't that right, Uncle Al?
All right, well, we're going to take a short break here as far as Nerd Radio is concerned. When we come back, got some gaming news for you. I believe James is turning Viking on us.
Maybe. I don't know. I might have.
I'm excited to hear more about this.
Might be at my wit's end after yesterday's gaming session.
Ooh. Oh, no.
And the Avengers, as this Kotaku article reads, the Avengers grind is about to become more of a grind, which is bad news for this Avengers game. We'll talk about both of those and more next on Nerd Radio.